My mega iPhone collection 2018 part 1 net videos coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to my 2018 iPhone collection video. Now, this is the third video I did like this on the channel here, and this is because of one reason: transparency. I want you guys to know what I am reviewing on this channel and keep you updated so you can ask your questions, give your feedback. Maybe you have this phone, maybe you have this phone, maybe you have that phone, and you want to know some questions or anything like that. This serves as a way for me to get feedback and to know what you guys are looking to see on which particular iPhone. Now, I know a lot of people are going to see these iPhones and be like, well, Nick, how did you get all those iPhones? Well, over time, you save up, you get a phone, you get a little more money, you get a phone, you get a little more money. If you care about technology, then you probably have a lot of technology. But anyway, these phones right here, I want to mention, are not giveaway products. I will be giving away iPhones later this year. So for all of you supporting the channel, you might want to stick around for that. Later this year, I'm giving away a couple of iPhones. So stick around for that at major milestones. But let's begin with the first iPhone. First iPhone on this list is, well, the very first iPhone. This is the Steve Jobs announcement in 2007. Wow, it's been some time, about 10 years here. It's actually not turned on, this device here, but 10 years time, and man, does it look like a brick right now. The very first generation iPhone. Although I do think that it did hold up pretty well when it comes to durability. It's a much slower phone than pretty much anything you could buy right now, but it is a classic to look at. And some of these on eBay, if you do find them like in mint condition, they're going for like, 20 grand. So these are antiques right here in the very first iPhone. Let's get on to the next iPhone. Okay, so the next iPhone in the collection here is the iPhone 3GS, also known as the iPhone that would always get this little crack here at the bottom. Shiny plastic back here on an Apple device. One of the only Apple devices that did utilize plastic. Most of them are aluminum. However, this one in the 5C gave you that plastic look. Now, a lot of people said the jet black iPhone was reminiscent of this one. This one kind of, but there was no, this really shiny Apple logo on the jet black version, which would have been nice to see. However, this one's a little bit chubby, cracks easily on the back, and definitely not a great phone to this day, but I keep it around for memories here on the 3GS. Now, if you notice, I don't have the iPhone 2G, I believe it is, a 3G, just the 3GS here. And getting on to the next iPhone would be the iPhone 4S. Now, not the 4, this is the 4S. Now, if you've been following the channel for way back since when, you would have known I did iPhone 4S videos quite a bit. And I did make a video titled "The iPhone 4S is Dead." You can go check that video out if you want on the channel. But I did end support for this particular guy here. It just doesn't, have enough speed anymore for me to make this even a recommendation, even if you find it really cheap. This thing is super slow right now, but one of my favorite designs of any iPhone ever in the iPhone 4S. It just had that perfect stainless steel all around the edges, and it didn't really, get too beat up. Now, the glass back would crack easy on these, but it was really easy to just take these penelope screws out, pull the back off, and you're good to go with a brand new back for not too much money. So 4S, great device right there. Introduced Siri, and it did have a dual core processor. It was a major leap in performance for the 4S. Now, the 5 was one of the first phones of the Tim Cook era, which did announce, a 4-inch screen. And to this day, the SE is still in the lineup. People did really take well and did enjoy this particular device. Now, this device here is quite old, and this one had shipping problems here on the iPhone 5. But really, this was a solid device for quite some time, and I really did like the iPhone 5 back in the day. However, the 5S did introduce the fingerprint scanner for the first time, aka Touch ID, for a iPhone, and that's pretty nice to see. So headphone jack was on this device, and you could get this in white and silver as well. Just 2 color options, but if you knew how to tweak things and customize things, you could make the iPhone 5 basically look however you wanted to make it look. So that's the iPhone 5. That is in the collection as well. No longer supported on iOS 11. Now, I actually have 3 iPhone 5S's right here, so I'm not going to showcase all of them. Only one of them has some battery life right now, but I do have this black one, and this one's actually cracked. So this one has been through hell and back on this iPhone 5S, as you can see. But these guys right here, I don't recommend here in 2018, as I mentioned in my prior videos. They're a little bit slow. This is actually one of the last remaining devices I have on iOS 10. Last year, I could recommend it because it ran okay on iOS 10, as you can see right here. But the 5S today is pretty slow on the iOS 11s. So this one right here, if you can get it on iOS 7, iOS 10 even's not too bad on it. It should be okay, but getting one right now and trying to update and having this phone for the future, I just can't recommend it anymore. But the 5S was a great phone that stood the test of time. It did do 4 to 5 years, so great longevity on the iPhone 5S. Now over here is the iPhone SEs that I have. Now I'm sure you guys know, you do a lot of SE videos, you've seen those, so I'm not gonna talk too much about those. Got the pink one, or the rose gold, you can call it whatever, it's pink. We got the space gray over here, 32 gigabyte iPhone SE. This one everybody's looking for, and everybody's like, where's the SE2 already? I think people are looking for an update on this device, but overall, this is still a very snappy and speedy little iPhone here in the SE, and definitely a recommendation for 2018, especially considering that 4K in your pocket for 150 to 200 bucks, pretty good deal here when it comes to a cheap starter iPhone in the iPhone SE. Getting on to the larger iPhones now, here is where things start to get a little bit interesting. So the iPhone 6, I actually don't have the 6S Plus or the 6 Plus. I'm going to be bringing the 6 Plus for a review soon. Should you buy 6 Plus in 2018, maybe I might not recommend it. We'll see. I'm going to try that phone out and see if it's worth it. I didn't recommend the 6, got a lot of heat for it. I still stand by my word. This phone is not recommended. I did drop mine during an iOS 11 beta review and spiderwebbed all over the glass. Didn't really see the need to invest more money into an iPhone 6. It already is slowing down, running slow. Geekbench scores have found that, they have dropped significantly on the 6. And this was the first iPhone that introduced the 4.7-inch factor, and super popular phone. Probably one of the most sold iPhones, if not the most sold iPhone of all time in the iPhone 6. So that was a time where Apple listened to their customers and it paid off big time for them. So iPhone 6 did have some bending issues, the bigger one, not this one so much, but still this one creaked and popped a little bit. Wasn't the best build quality of all time. Getting on to one of my favorite iPhones ever, the iPhone 6s series. So let's begin with the small one. You see me cover this earlier in the year on the Should You Buy. This guy right here is just fantastic. I mean, great build quality, 7000 series aluminum. 3D Touch was announced, second gen Touch ID, pretty much the same display as the iPhone 8. And you're getting all of this at a much cheaper price here now in 2018. So 6S, just another iPhone 6 with everything the iPhone 6 should have been, in my opinion. So here goes the iPhone 6S Plus. Now the 6S Plus, surprisingly, I have some issues with it. It's one of those phones that I have that is affected with that battery issue. This thing will just shut off when it gets cold. The battery will just randomly drop from like 90 to 70 in like 2 minutes sometimes. It does some oddball stuff. Granted, this one does have the Samsung processors, one of the only iPhones I have that does have a Samsung processor, but this one has been giving me a lot of issues, although when it doesn't give me issues, I love the 6S Plus. It's fast, snappy, not too heavy. It has a great camera on it, great build quality on this guy, and very fast fingerprint scanner as well. It's great storage as well. So the 6S Plus still is my recommendation. I just got a lemon here with the battery on this one, but overall, fantastic phone with the iPhone 6S Plus. You just don't get the water resistance, but you do get your headphone jack, as does all the other iPhones we mentioned thus far. Now the iPhone 7, funny story about this one. This is the girlfriend's iPhone 7. I'm mentioning it here because she lets me use this for iPhone 7 content. Now, the iPhone 7, I had this one in the same color as her, rose gold, for quite some time, and I used it for quite some time, and I made videos on it. But what I did was I took the iPhone 7 to Apple and I traded it in and got like 375 bucks or so for it, and I got the iPhone 8 at a discount. So I traded my iPhone 7 in rose gold to Apple for the iPhone 8, so she still lets me use this. I wanted to mention it because you do see iPhone 7 videos sometimes. That is her phone right there, but it's still in the list because, you know, it's definitely being shown in videos, so I decided why not include it here. Now, the iPhone 7 Plus right here was one of my favorite phones in the history of iPhone, just due to it being super slick, light, big, great dual camera lens that was announced, really gave us a new way to use the iPhone. Jet black was super slick, super fast. Everything just worked well. One Achilles heel though, no headphone jack. And this was very frustrating. I have since updated to Bluetooth headphones, so not such a big deal anymore, but at first, and if you don't update to Bluetooth headphones, it's going to remain frustrating. But iPhone 7 Plus, fantastic device, easy recommendation if you can catch one on a deal. It's an amazing smartphone in the 7 Plus, and it does have water resistance, as does the iPhone 7. IP67 though, it's not IP68, meaning you can't get it, like, can't drop it in a pool and expect it to last, but you can, you know, maybe drop it in the toilet, pick it up real quick and it'll be good, or get it a little bit wet in the rain, it should be fine. Okay, so getting on to the next one, the iPhone 8, as I was talking about earlier, traded the iPhone 7 rose gold for it, the one I personally owned, and this has been a really fast little smartphone. Very good in terms of speed, very good in terms of pretty much everything. This is a beast of a little phone right here in the iPhone 8. Now, it has a great camera that can do 4K 60 frames per second here. And overall, you know, just for a standard smartphone, this might be the best just standard smartphone that does it all, but doesn't do anything extra special, like no big giant screen, no extra huge, well, you do have a huge storage capacity, but you don't have IP68, but you have fast performance, fast fingerprint scanner, great camera, classic design, glass wireless charging on the back. This might be the best one-handed smartphone I think you can buy right now, whereas the SE might be one of the best cheap one-thumb smartphones. So let's go on to the next one, which is its bigger brother, the iPhone 8 Plus. A lot of people have seen my iPhone 8 Plus update videos. They said they love their iPhone 8 Plus, and I do too. It's a great device. It is huge, and it's also pretty heavy. So one of the heaviest iPhones, actually, I think this is the heaviest iPhone ever made. So if you like that heft in your phone, you're going to like the iPhone 8 Plus. Super fast MacBook level performance here on the iPhone 8 Plus. However, you don't have MacBook robust software. You still have iOS, so it doesn't really show too much. Overall though, looking for a consistent widescreen display, probably the last you're going to see from Apple in terms of the 16:9 aspect ratio with landscape modes available. That's your iPhone 8 Plus, and that is second to my last iPhone in the collection here for part 1 of 2018. And last but not least, we all know what it was, the iPhone 10. And I don't actually like this phone as much as I thought I would. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit up here, get on camera and say I don't like this phone. I do like it, but I don't like it as much as I thought I would have, meaning that this phone is actually not my daily driver. I will test it, I will use it, and I think it offers a lot to, you know, Apple users who wanted an all-screen design, but it definitely feels like a first-generation product. Definitely not ready, I think, for, you know, everybody to get on board yet. I think next year we're going to see some nice updates to the 10 series, but, you know, for what I paid for this phone, I don't feel that it was worth what I paid, but it is worth it for the channel as a tech reviewer, but it wasn't worth it in terms of, you know, just if I was buying a personal iPhone for myself, I would have took the iPhone 10 back, but I keep it around to give you guys updates, give you guys knowledge about it. And that is it. That is my iPhone collection part 1, 2018. I update this video again later this year when new iPhones do come out. Have you seen any phone on this table that you're like, I need a video on that, man? I've been asking you for a while. Where is it? Leave your feedback. I can't get to all of them because this is a lot of iPhones right here. I'm only one person, and you might be seeing these and be like, man, I want all those iPhones. Let me tell you something. Having all these iPhones is not the easiest thing in the world to manage, but having them does allow me to help you guys out in having a better, you know, technology experience and mastering your technology. So if you like this video, do me a favor, click that like button for me. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next episode, and peace.